there's a lot of people that it does. And if I ask this question, how many of you were excited about Christmas break? Raise your hand, okay? Let me see. Yes, all right, very good. And I could ask all sorts of different, groups of people that question. And some of you parents would go, I love watching the activities that my kids are in. Like, I love watching their sporting activities. I love their Christmas concerts, although they're all in December, And so I love being able just to take a break for a couple weeks. Like, there's that moment that you kind of look forward to. Or if I talk to some of you kids, like how many days you have left until it is Christmas break time. And some of your schools even help you out by, hey, let's get you to the finish line by let's do dress-up days. We're going to help you get to that point because we know you're looking forward to this. And so it's just something that you're excited about. And teachers, I know you look forward to that. Like the amount of time that you invest in so many people, like when you're done, you turn in that final grade or whatever, you're like, no one talked to me for a week or at least like an hour. You'll take that. But anyway, just the amount of time, and you look forward to that upcoming break. Or I was thinking about this Christmas season, maybe what you get excited about is the opening of presents. And I don't know how many of you guys have already done that this morning or last night, how many of you are doing it later on, those kind of things. But there's just something that you get excited about that, and maybe you are the, very careful unwrapper. You're going to save the paper for later and all that kind of stuff, or you just rip it off, it doesn't matter. But like that, you get excited about that aspect. Or maybe you love the opening of gifts, but it's not you opening your gift. Like you enjoy that, but what you really get excited about is watching the faces of those that you give the gift to and just knowing that they are excited about that. That's what kind of gets you right here. Or maybe if I'm talking about things that you get excited about, maybe it's happening later today after some sort of meal. It's going to happen in the afternoon, this 3-letter word that begins with an N, ends with an app, okay? You are looking forward to that nap time where everything has gone well through the day, and I'm just going to close my eyes for a little while. And man, that is something that you kind of look forward to. Maybe that's something you don't get to do on a regular basis. Or maybe it's, again, not today, and maybe not even tomorrow, but in about a week, what you will be excited about is the end of Christmas break. All right, I'm ready to send some of those kids back to school. I'm ready to get back into our routine. I have enjoyed this time, but I'm ready to do that again. And so there are these things that we get excited about, we are expectant about, we're even hopeful for. And that's what the Jewish people, that's what Zechariah and Elizabeth and Mary and Joseph would have felt going, hey, we are looking forward to the Messiah, the one who is to come. For hundreds of years, they were expectant, they were joyful, ready for him to come. And now because of this angelic message that they all heard, they know that he's coming soon. It's not just hope. Now they know. That word know, like I think about the shepherds. Like as soon as they're told by an angel, they're rushing in to find this child wrapped in cloths and laying in a manger. It's not, I wonder what I'm going to find. They know exactly what they are going to find because of what they're told. Or I think about these magi, or these wise men that we read about. All right, these guys who would have kind of been the right-hand men to the king as far as knowledge and medicines and math and science and religious things. And so if they had questions, they would ask them. And so they knew and they had been looking for, and there is a star that they follow. And I'm not a scientist. I also did not live back in that time, so I can't tell you all the details of how God did this. But can I tell you this, that if God is big enough to create everything, he can make a star lead people where he wants. And so here are these magi, and they follow the star, and they come before Herod. And they ask him a question. They say, where is the one who is to be born the King of the Jews? Like, where is he? Where is this King of the Jews? And so Herod, it makes sense that they would ask Herod because he is the king, so maybe it's one of his kids, or if it's not, he's the king of the area, and so he would know the big things going on in his land. So again, that makes sense to go and ask him, but he does not know. And so he asks his religious wise guys, hey, where is the king to be born? And they answer, Bethlehem. And in that moment, when I read this passage, I actually, my mind jumps to a cartoon that I watch every year about how the Grinch stole Christmas, okay? And so I think about the Grinch and how he hated Christmas. And in this 20-second scene, it says, and then the Grinch had an idea. He had an awful idea. He had a wonderful, awful idea. And he gets this big smile on his face. And I think Herod was that way. When he hears Bethlehem, he then has this wonderful, awful idea that he then tells them, hey, when you go and find this child, I want you to come back, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him. But if you know the story at all, you know that he's not interested in worshiping him. He just wants to get rid of any kind of competition. And so again, these magi, they followed the star to the exact house that Mary and Joseph and Jesus are at. And then after some time there, they go a different direction back home because God had warned them not to return to Herod. And I think the thing that gets me about that story, that meeting up more than anything else, is I think about these wise men, these magi, these people that so many people would have looked at and gone, look at their position, look at their knowledge, all these kind of things. And here they are when they find Jesus, when they find this child, they kneel before him. They bow, they worship him, and they offer him gifts. These powerful people, they offer him gifts. And even if they didn't understand everything about how he was God, they understood that he was a king. And so they worshiped him. And you know what? You and I, at some point, will ask this same type of question. It may not be exactly like the wise men asked, and where is the king or where's the one in charge? But have you ever just said those words, God, where are you? Man, where is the one that gives me purpose? Like, where is the one that I am seeking? Where is the one that I need right now? And oftentimes, if we're able to take a step back, sometimes in the moment you might not see it, but if you take a step back, you'll realize that the king was there the entire time. He never left your side. And when we come to the moment that realizing, okay, that he left heaven to come to earth so that you and I, we could be with him for eternity, when we understand that, then our proper response is to bow and to worship. In fact, he is the king, and the text tells us that one day every knee will bow before the king. And what a blessing it is for those who choose to do it right now with our life. So the king, he came into this world to be a light. He came to bring joy, to bring hope, to bring peace, to bring love. On that very first Christmas, it was this moment that went largely unnoticed. I mean, here he is being born as a baby in these very humble of circumstances. And yet, even with that, it was still a night that changed everything.